Batting second and playing second base, number 20, Rachel Stranisha. Batting third, the catcher, number 11, Samantha Conley. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 7, Summer Clatter. Batting fifth, the designated player, number 30, Macy Cox. Batting sixth and playing first base, number 27, Casey Carpenter. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 5, Jessica Davis. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 2, Joanna Vasquez. Batting ninth, the center fielder, number 17, Hope Harbin. The pitcher, number 3, Olivia Burns. The head coach for Itawamba is Andy Kirk. He is assisted by Haley Thompson and Daniel Rowland. And now for your Southwest Lady Bears. Leading off the left fielder, number 16, Tia Buzzing. Batting second and playing second base, number 00, Josie Nation. Batting third, the designated player, number 29, Madison Newman. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 28, Harrington Jeffcoat. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 21, Madison Darway. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 10, Tara Nelson. Batting seventh and catching, number 2, Scotty Medellin. Batting eighth and playing third base, number 20, Riley McManus. Batting ninth and playing right field, number 9, Jamie Steers. The pitcher, number 17, Taylor Shannon. And the rest of the Lady Bears. The head coach for the Lady Bears is Shay Johnson. He was assisted by Hannah Potts. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please stand and remove your headgear as we honor America with our national anthem.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger?
What?
Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that.
Strictly with the Coke. Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, out to the ball game. Adam Gore on hand here for today's broadcast of ICC softball on Let'sGoICCTV.com, as we're just moments away from that First American National Bank opening pitch here between ICC and Southwest Mississippi. To be Maddie Miney leading us off here for the Indians. Maddie is playing shortstop as usual. She's a freshman. Regular season finale here for the Indians, as we do welcome everyone watching here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. As that First American National Bank opening pitch coming your way across for a strike. It comes at 2:05. First American National Bank. Follow the flag from Iuka to Tupelo, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics. That's First American National Bank. So 0-1 is the count here to Maddie Miney. She is starting us off here on the top of the first. A little bit of a change up. That pitch missing low and outside. 1-1 now is the count. Kaylin Schumann is the pitcher in circle here for Southwest. Talking to Coach Kurt before the game, I believe I understood him to say this is her first start of the season. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to Maddie Miney. It's Miney, Sternisha, and Conley due up here in the top of the first. As this pitch is going to be fouled back off the netting. 1-2 now is the count. Well, this game, it's been rescheduled some more. As finally getting this one to play. It was actually supposed to be played at the beginning of last month, but rain washed that one out. ICC actually traveled down, stayed at Brookhaven the night, and unfortunately could not get those games in. So 1-2 now is the count. And time is taken here by Miney. Well, just looking at the ballpark from the wide angle, it looks small, but the fence is pretty tall out there in the outfield. So it's a little deceiving. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Jones and how their field is. As that pitch hangs up high for a ball. 2-2 now is the count here on Maddie Miney. Remind you, our next broadcast of ICC Athletics will be on Wednesday when the softball team travels to Jones. Interesting, they could very well see this same Southwest team on Wednesday to open up the tournament play. Southwest, they've got to get a sweep today, as that's a swing and a miss for strike 3, and Miney goes down swinging at the first, on the first at-bat of the day. That's a Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Schumann. But yeah, the situation here for Southwest is pretty simple. They got to sweep ICC to move up to that number 6 spot. Anything other than a sweep, they would stay at number 7, and with ICC being number 2 in the standings, these two teams will turn around and play again on Wednesday at a time to be determined. And this is Rachel Sternisha at the plate now, and that pitch across for a strike. So Schumann's doing a pretty good job right now. She's throwing strikes, mixing up her speeds, and has done a pretty good job of painting that outside corner, especially against the first batter she saw in Maddie Miney, as she zipped a fastball past her on that outside corner for strike 3, the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. So 0-1 is the count here to Rachel Sternisha. Sternisha grounder right back to the pitcher. Pretty easy play there. Underhand toss for the out. And so quickly now, 2 away, and this is going to bring up Samantha Conley. Conley, a sophomore. She's catching here. And so she'll dig in with 2 outs and nobody on here for the Indians. Nice start to the contest here for Southwest. They got a strikeout and a ground out right back to the pitcher for out number 2. And Conley's going to try to spark a 2-out rally here, as that change up a little bit off speed, but hangs up just a little bit too much for the umpire's liking. 1-0 now is the count. We'll introduce you to today's Coca-Cola starting lineups in the exchange of innings, so you want to be sure and stay tuned for that. Madison Haley taking over Twitter today. Appreciate Madison and everything she does for us, as she has been our intern this season, as that pitch paints the corner for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Well, Schumann is impressive early. She is just hitting her spots. Can almost just put up a small plate behind the home plate, and she'll be able to break it every time, as she is doing a good job of just hitting her locations and mixing them up well, inside and out, up and down. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to Samantha Conley, as that pitch drops low. Will drop ball that fell off the table a bit too soon there. 2-1 now is the count with 2 outs. If Conley were to reach, it'd be Summer Kreider, the third baseman, due up next for the Indians. So 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Nobody on here for the Indians. Southwest trying to get a 3-up, 3-down inning here to start the contest. It's that pitch missing low. 3-1 now goes the count here to Conley. Sam's family here, not too far from here actually. They live in Mandeville, Louisiana. Had a chance on my way back from Gulf Coast, cutting to Macomb through Louisiana. Stopped by and saw her mom and dad for a second on their way up. Actually got a chance to see some family that lives in Liberty down here. As that pitch is high for ball 4. And so that'll be a 2-out walk issued to Samantha Conley, and this will be Summer Kreider coming to the plate now for the Indians.
Number 7, Summer Kreider.
So yeah, I got to catch up with some family, and it's funny because we came down here about a month ago, and I was talking to Amy, who is my cousin, last night. I think I've seen them more in the last 30 days than I have in the past 2 or 3 years combined. And then, oh, by the way, a small world, my buddy Ryan Whittington, who works in marketing over at Ole Miss, he happened to be in Baton Rouge with the baseball games, passed through and said hi on his way back to Oxford as that pitch across for a strike. So I have to travel 4.5 hours away from home just to see people, apparently. So 0-1 now is the count here to Summer Kreider. She's batting in that 4th spot, trying to spark a 2-out rally here for the Indians. It was a strikeout to Maddie Miney. Rachel Stranisha grounded back to the pitcher, and then a 2-out walk just issued to Samantha Conley, and that's how we've gotten to Summer Kreider so far. Kreider awaiting the pitch, outside missing for a ball. ICC in their blue tops with red sleeves. They've got the red pants and the white socks with red and, or excuse me, the blue socks with red and white stripes. For Southwest, they're all whites today with red and blue markings. As that pitch inside, and Kreider took a healthy chop at that one, could not find it. And now the count goes 1-2. Well, I catch myself leaning every time to look towards left field for the scoreboard, and it's actually in the same location, a little bit further up than ours, so it's right there in right field. We give you a live, wide view of the ballpark here. Absolutely beautiful ballpark, beautiful day for softball. So waiting the 1-2 offering here, and swung on and missed for strike 3. Well, a nice rise ball that time that Kreider couldn't catch up with, and that was a pair of Renaissance Bank strikeouts for Schumann, and that was a big one there after a 2-out walk. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. All right, let's talk about today's Coca-Cola starting lineups, and we've already introduced you to the first 4 batters of the day for ICC. Maddie Miney playing shortstop, Rachel Stranisha, who is at second base, Samantha Conley, who's catching, and Summer Kreider at third base. Batting 5th will be the DP, Macy Cox. Batting 6th will be Casey Carpenter. And Jessica Davis, the birthday girl, will be batting 7th. She's playing in right field. Joanna Vasquez will be playing in left field. She'll be batting 8th. And batting 9th will be the center fielder, Hope Harbin. Olivia Burns will take the circle for the Indians. Speaking of birthday girls, yesterday was her birthday. So happy birthday to both Jessica and Olivia on this road trip here. And Hope Harbin, she had a birthday last week as well. All right, so ICC and Coke, now that's a winning combination. And Coach Andy Kirk hopes that's the winning combo put together here in Game 1. Your lineup here for Southwest being brought to you by the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works. Buddy Long and Company, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics here on the ICC Sports Network. And here is Southwest. Tia Bussey is playing in left field. And it's Josie Nations at second base. Madison Newman, the DP. Carrington Jeffcoat, she's over at first base. Madison Gower. Is that correct? Gower? Madison Gower in center field. Tara Nelson will be the shortstop. Scotty Metterjean will be the catcher. Riley McManus will be the third baseman. And Jamie Spears will be out in right field. We've already talked about Kaylin Schumann being the pitcher this afternoon for Southwest. So that's today's Coca-Cola starting lineups for both teams. As we're just moments away from the start of the bottom half of the inning, 0-0 is your score. ICC and Southwest, game 1. Well, as always, another great turnout for the ICC faithful here at the ballpark, enjoying a Chamber of Commerce-like day here at the ballpark, as this will be Bussey to start us off. See the infield's coming in, anticipating a slap hit as that pitch missing low and outside for a ball. We'll give you the wide look, and you can see the defensive alignment here for the Indians. Kreider, who is the third baseman, coming in pretty tight. You can also see the outfield is in as well, so if she can find something pop up over in this situation, could be big. That pitch missing high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here to Bussey. So quickly behind in the count now is Olivia Burns. Have to come back with a strike here, and that one missing low. So Burns struggling to find the zone here early on in the contest. So 3-0 is the count here to Bussey, the left fielder. And that's going to be a leadoff walk. So 4 pitches, couldn't find the zone there. And a good positive start to the contest here for Southwest. ICC comes into the contest with a record of 32-11-1, 22-4 in conference play. For Southwest, they are 28-13. Is that pitch missing as well for a ball? They're 15-11 inside conference play. So Burns struggling here to start the contest to find the zone. So 5 pitches, and none of them have located the strike zone yet. Grounder, and it's going to be off the glove of third baseman. They're going to say a fair ball. Going to try to quickly get it to third, and the Indians cut that down. And so a hard hit that time on the infield that was in, so that will go for a single for Nations. And now this is going to be Madison Newman, the DP, coming to the plate here for the Bears.
Number 29, Madison Newman.
So a really good start to the contest here. It was 2 quick outs in the top half of the inning, then a 2-out walk to Conley, and then a strikeout of Kreider, a pair of Renaissance Bank strikeouts in the top of the first. And now there's no outs with runners on first and second here for the Bears, and they're trying to find a way to strike early. This pitch missing low for a strike, or excuse me, for a ball. 1-0 is the count with no outs. Runners at first and second. We're in the bottom of the first. ICC and Southwest scoreless, but the Bears trying to strike here. This pitch popped up, and it's going to get out of play, or excuse me, it's actually going to catch off the netting and roll back into play. 1-1 now is the count. Well, as we said, this game was originally scheduled for Saturday, and then they saw rain was coming in, so they pushed it back to Sunday. Good call, as it's a beautiful day here in Summit. 1-1 pitch coming. Jammed her, and this one's going to be fouled back off the netting again. And now the count goes 1-2. Good pitch that time by Burns. And 1-2 now is the count. First time she's been ahead of the count of the batter so far in the first 3 that she's seen. Carrington Jeffcoat is on deck for the Bears. So can we find a Renaissance Bank strikeout? Instead, there's going to be a slow roller. This is going to be trouble. Only 1 play, and it's going to be to first, and it's in time for the out. Thought it was slow enough that time that the base runner might make it a bang-bang play, but a good strong arm that time from Maddie Miney, as the runners do advance in that situation. So that pretty much just worked as a sacrifice bunt without it being a sacrifice bunt, as the runners go to second and third. And now this is going to bring up Carrington Jeffcoat with 1 out. So the Indians now with their back against the wall here in the bottom of the first inning. Jeffcoat, the first baseman, at the plate. 1 out, runners on second and third. That pitch in there for, wow, a ball. You're going to hear a few chirping out of the ICC fans, and for what it's worth, some of that similar to a first pitch we saw in the top half of the inning, but we'll see how the strike zone develops as we go throughout the next few innings. This pitch popped up, back and out of play. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. You've got runners at second and third. It's Bussey at third. She walked. And then it was a single off the glove of the third baseman by Nations, and she's at second. And then it was a ground out to the shortstop by Newman. And so that's where we're at now here in the bottom of the first inning. 1-1 is the count with one away. Ball in the dirt, blocked up nicely that time by Samantha Conley. Two-one is the count. Runners at second and third. This pitch popped up, but it's going to get back and out of play as it's over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. We remind you that if you would like to contribute to Itawamba Community College, whether it be through joining the Alumni Association or maybe even contributing to scholarships, visit iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 away. Runners on second and third. Carrington Jeffcoat's going to look at that pitch, hop across. And 3-2 now goes the count. Well, I saw on Twitter the other day yesterday, I should say, that Olivia Burns has committed to continue her softball and academic career at Delta State next season. So the 3-2 pitch coming. There's a liner up the middle. It's going to get through, and that's going to score 1. And they're going to hold the runner at third, so a clutch hit there. And a nice hit off the bat of Jeffcoat. She just went with the pitch, and that's going to be an RBI single. And 1-0 now is the score with 1 out. Runners on the corners right now for Southwest. And this is going to be Madison Gower coming to the plate. She's the center fielder. And she's going to talk to her coach real quick, as that was just a nice little return to sender type single right back up the middle from Jeffcoat that was able to score Bussey, and 1-0 is the score. Nations was able to advance to third. Hope Harbin came in quickly and kept that as a one-run single. Shows bunt, lays it down, and it's going to go foul. So trying to get a surprise squeeze bunt in that place there, and ball went foul, so a break for the Indians, if you will. As 0-1 now is the count. And 1-1 now is the count. Some of the ICC faithful not too happy with the strike zone right now. But as I said, usually like to give them 2 or 3 innings before we kind of start critiquing that. Man, I cannot talk today. I apologize, folks. 1-1 pitch coming. This one lifted. Center fielder going to go back, and it's going to be deep enough to score the run. They're going to throw it into second to keep the runner over at first. So that goes as a sacrifice fly for Gower. And that sacrifice fly being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union, reminding you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. That's the ICC BSU.
The shortstop, Tara Nelson.
Now up is going to be Tara Nelson, the shortstop. So an absolute great start to the contest here for the Bears. They've pushed 2 runs across so far and have a runner on first with 2 outs in the inning. Check swing, fouls it back off the netting, and that goes for strike 1. 0-1 now is the count. So the Indians, they went quietly. They got a 2-out walk to Samantha Conley, then a Renaissance Bank strikeout to end the inning of Summer Kreider. And that's how the Indians went in the top half of the inning. Southwest, they got a walk to Bussey, a single by Nations, a ground out by Newman that put the runners over in scoring position, a single right back up the middle off the bat of Jeffcoat that scored Bussey, and then you just saw that sacrifice fly out there to center field that pushed across Nations, and 2-0 now is the score. Southwest ahead of ICC early on in the contest. So 0-2 is the count. Would be a big time for a Renaissance Bank strikeout if Burns can find one here. 0-2 pitch coming. Instead, this one's going to be fouled back and out of play. Nicely done that time on the part of Nelson to find a piece of that one and keep the at-bat alive here. So the count will stay 0-2. And there's strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there to end the inning as a breaking ball that caught the corner of the plate. A beautiful pitch there, but the damage was done as the Bears get 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played one here in Summit. We're going to take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set now to move to the top of the second inning for ICC. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up. Macy Cox, the DP, Casey Carpenter, the first baseman, and Jessica Davis all at bat here for the Indians. ICC trails at 2-0. It was a RBI single by Jeff Coate, followed by a sacrifice fly by Gower that scored Bussey and Nation respectively in the bottom half of the first. So Schumann, India's going to try to find out the riddle that is her as she has come in and kept the bats quiet early on here. She got a pair of Renaissance Bank strikeouts in the top half of the inning. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, renaissancebank.com, member FDIC. So it'll be Macy Cox to start us off here for ICC. They trail at 2-0. We're in game 1.
Good luck for Itawamba, number 30, Macy Cox.
Not a whole lot of life in the ballpark right now, as there is a pretty good crowd here for both teams. Now, this is not sophomore day, even though it is the regular season finale here for Southwest. This game has been rescheduled a few times, so they kept sophomore day scheduled as planned. As that pitch is going to miss low for a ball. Well, as we said, Schumann has done a good job today varying her speeds, and right now ICC is not picked up on when she's going to either go all speed or when she's going to speed it up a little bit, so we'll see how quickly ICC can pick up on that. They sent 4 batters to the plate in the top of the first. This is the 5th of the game here in Macy Cox. Macy turns on one, pops it up. The first baseman can't find it. And that's going to go for a base hit there for Macy Cox. We'll just put them where they ain't that time, as that was a great effort on the part of the first baseman, Jeff Coate. She just couldn't quite find it as it went just outside of her glove. So the first hit of the day for the Indians, a little bloop single out to right field, and now this is going to bring up Casey Carpenter. Well, maybe that's what it's going to take for the Indians, is just to light that fire, is get something to go their way, and that was one of them there, as that goes for the first hit of the day for ICC. A leadoff single by Macy Cox to start us off here in the top of the second. Casey Carpenter at the plate. She's over at first base, and that pitch right down the middle for a strike. Casey, she's a very versatile infielder. She can play first base. She also can play over at third base, and I think throughout her high school days at Grenada, third base was her natural position, so she has made the transition nicely over to first base this season. As that first pitch across for a strike. Off speed, second pitch is lined off the pitcher. Throw over is in time for the out, so a good job by the third baseman, as you have to record that one 1-5-3 on the putout. Carpenter at first, and then Cox was able to advance to second. They're going to come out and check on Schumann. Schumann's going to show her where it hit her, and instead it got her behind the leg instead of off the knee like everyone was afraid of. So a big time break there, as that one comes off the side of the knee. As hard as it hit, that could be trouble. So good sign of sportsmanship there from the ICC players as well as both fan bases, as they give her a round of applause for being able to shake that one off. And now with one out and a runner at second, this is going to be Jessica Davis. So Jessica will come to the plate here. As we said, and I always say, Jessica is the traditional spelling, J-E-S-S-I-C-A, but is pronounced J-E-S-S-C-A. So just drop the I, Jessica. Davis is going to be hit by a pitch, and so she'll head down to first. And now the tying run is on the bases here for the Indians, and this is going to be Joanna Vasquez coming to the plate. Well, we've said it all season. JoJo has been doing JoJo things, and ICC needs her to do her thing here, as they're going to allow Davis to kind of walk that one off over there at first base. With one out and the tying run at first, Joanna Vasquez will come to the plate. If you're just now joining us for the first time this season, you'll probably hear me accidentally refer to her as friend throughout the broadcast. Almost the first time I met her when she was a freshman, that's what she called me, was friend, and it has stuck. And I'll be honest with you, as this pitch is missing low for a ball, I've been called a lot worse in life, and I will take somebody calling me friend any day of the week. So JoJo takes that first pitch low for a ball. 1-0 is the count. You've got Macy Cox, who singled with a blooper over the head of the first baseman, and Jessica Davis, who is at first. She was hit by a pitch, and now this is Vasquez at the plate. She's a sophomore out of South Haven. Looks at that pitch outside. 2-0 now is the count here to JoJo. Two balls, no strikes, and one out. Runners on first and second here for the Indians. They trail 2-0. We're in the top of the second, game one here between ICC and Southwest. Schumann, taking her time now, addresses the rubber. And that pitch high and outside, and 3-0 now is the count. So good job by JoJo being patient at the plate, getting herself in a hitting situation here. You figure the red light, however, will be on in this situation, with it being 3-0, and that last pitch selling well high and outside out of the zone. So 3-0 is the count, one out. Runners on first and second here for the Indians. And there's ball four. Nearly hit JoJo again, but that will be a walk to load the bases here for Hope Harbin. So now the Indians, they're going to try to get the merry-go-round spinning here in the top of the second, as time is going to be taken. The catcher wants to come out and talk to her pitcher in this situation, and looks like that Southwest is going to send somebody to the bullpen here in a moment. And now the entire infield is going to come in and talk to the pitcher here. The home plate umpire taking a lot of time to brush off the plate, give him a chance to talk. And as always, when they get about halfway out to the circle, that's when they break it up. So now this is going to bring up Hope Harbin to the plate. Bases loaded, there's one out. Macy Cox is at third. Jessica Davis at second, and Joanna Vasquez, who just drew that walk, is over at first. And Hope Harbin at the plate. Hope takes a look at that first pitch, in there for a strike. Good job that time by Schumann to battle back and throw that one down the zone after struggling against the previous two batters, a hit batter to Davis and then a walk to Vasquez. There is one out in the inning. That was after a line drive from Carpenter off the pitcher. Ended up over to the third baseman, who was able to throw out Carpenter at first. So technically 1-5-3 on that put out. 0-1 pitch coming to Harbin. That one missing. Good job blocking that one up that time by Metterjean. And 1-1 now is the count. ICC trailing 2-0. We're in the top of the second. There is one out. Maddie Miney, who struck out in her first at bat, is on deck here for the Indians. ICC would love to get that merry-go-round spinning here. See if they can put a crooked letter on the board, as Southwest did that in the bottom part of the first. 1-1 pitch coming. Jammed her. And this is going to roll foul, and now 1-2 is the count. Well, Schumann's doing a good job of working in and tight on these batters, and so if you're ICC now, you almost have to eliminate that outer third part of the plate here and focus on everything on the inside. But as soon as you do that, that's when she's going to be able to pop you on that outside pitches. She has done pretty good locating so far here through the first inning plus. Or I should say 1 1/3 inning so far. Bases loaded for the Indians. There is one out. 2-0. Southwest with the lead. Hope Harbin at the plate. That pitch missing outside. 2-2 now is the count. Not a bad spot to miss that time if you're Schumann, to see if you couldn't get her to chase one, but a good eye on the part of Hope to hold off on that one. And now even at the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Bases full of Indians. They're trying to spark a rally here. They trail at 2-0 in the top of the second inning. Game 1 at Southwest. This pitch inside, and a good job by Hartman to turn on it, find a piece of it, and foul it off to keep the at-bat alive. And once again, those inside pitches are working extremely well for Schumann here in the contest. So 2-2 stays the count after that foul ball. Base is still loaded here for the Indians. ICC trails at 2-0, trying to spark a rally here. See if they can maybe retake the lead or take the lead for the first time today, as that pitch high and inside. And now the count goes 3-2. Southwest fans wanting that one for strike 3, but the home plate umpire thought it was just a little too high for his liking. So now the count goes full here to Hope Hartman. Awaiting this payoff pitch here. Base is loaded, so nowhere to put her. And time is taken by the catcher. Well, our previous broadcast was on Friday when baseball swept Gulf Coast 10-9 in the first game, 4-1 in the second. 3-2 pitch coming. And it's going to be a grounder, and it's going to get through, and this should tie the ball game. And now the ball's booted around in the outfield. They're going to hold up JoJo. The throw home is going to allow Hartman to get to second, and a clutch hit there off the bat of Hope Hartman. We're tied at 2. Let's go back and look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay. The second hit of the day for Hope, or excuse me, of the day for the Indians. It goes for a 2-run single as Macy Cox and Jessica Davis score to tie us at 2, and then heads up base running on the part of Hope Hartman. As she saw the throw was coming home, she waited back a little bit and was able to get into scoring position. And so a clutch hit there, as now we're tied at 2.
Shortstop, Maddie Miney.
So now we go back to the top lineup here, and this is going to be Maddie Miney coming to the plate. Maddie struck out swinging in her first at bat of the day, looking to redeem herself here with runners in scoring position. You've got the speedy Vasquez at third and the extra speedy Hartman at second. So anything like we just saw would score both of those runs here. There's one out here for the Indians. Changeup hangs up for a ball. We talked about it. There is action in the bullpen here for Southwest, because that's number 18 getting loose. Don't have a roster to be able to tell you that name, but we'll get it if she does happen to come into the contest. 1-0 is the count here to Maddie Miney. Miney looks at that pitch, and it falls off the table a bit too soon. 2-0 now is the count. Two balls, no strikes, and one out. Runners at second and third here for the Indians. We're in the top of the second. 2-2 is your score, thanks to a 2-run single off the bat of Hope Hartman to tie us up at 2. 2-0 pitch drifts high and outside for a ball. 3-0 now goes the count here to Miney. If Miney were to reach, it would load the bases for Rachel Stranisha, who grounded out to the pitcher in her first at bat. Wind blowing, I would say, from the first base dugout out to left field, not necessarily gusting at times, so nothing that should be a challenge this afternoon. So 3-0 is the count here to Miney. And then it hits her, so Miney wears one. It's the second time that Schumann has hit a batter, and this time it loads the bases for the Indians once again. And we're going to have a break in the action here, and we'll have a visit to the circle. So I want to hear from Sonic. 2-2 is your score. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Bacon, Swiss cheese. Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're 2-2 contest. No change was made there for Southwest, as Rachel Stranisha will now come to the plate with bases loaded and one out. ICC's already pushed across 2 runs on the board here, trying to find some more as they tied up on a single by Hope Hartman that scored Macy Cox and Jessica Davis. As that pitch drifts outside for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. It was a 3-0 pitch, then the fourth pitch of that at-bat to Maddie Miney ended up between her numbers and puts her on at first base, the second hit batter of the inning here for Southwest. So 1-0 is the count. One out, bases full of Indians here in the top of the second. ICC trying to take their first lead of the afternoon. Stranicia looks at that pitch and is in there for a strike, keeps the count now at 1-1. Well, you do have pretty good speed over at third base in Joanna Vasquez. If the ball does happen to get away, it's not a whole lot of real estate behind home plate, though. Take you to a wide look at that. So would have to probably hit and bounce away from the backstop versus bouncing straight back. So we haven't seen any of those balls get away so far to see how it reacts off the backstop. 1-1 is the count. And that one's going to hit Stranicia, and that's going to push in a run. So Vasquez will score, and ICC takes a 3-2 lead after back-to-back hit batters. And that's going to do it there for your pitcher, Schumann. So ICC takes a 3-2 lead. We will have a pitching change here, so we'll take a break. Let's tell you about the upcoming freshman orientation and more here on the ICC Sports Network. 3-2, one out, bases loaded for ICC. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back right after this.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say. It's lonely at the top. Unless you have an extra most bestest pizza. Then it's a party at the top!
Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6.
Pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're set to go here. Not very many warm-up pitches there, as Jordan McNabb said she's ready to go, so Jordan will come in to replace Schumann. She walks into a tough situation here, as it's a 3-2 contest now. ICC with the lead,
The catcher, Samantha Conley.
as this is going to be Samantha Conley coming to the plate here for the Indians. Conley was walked in her previous at-bat. She does step in with one out and bases loaded here. Rachel Stranicia was just hit by a pitch, and that scored Joanna Vasquez. Hope Hardman moved over to third. Maddie Miney, who was also hit by a pitch, goes to second, and Stranicia sits over at third. So there's a lot of speed on the bases right now here for the Indians. As that pitch right down the middle for a strike. A very unique pitching style here for Jordan McNabb, and with the chalk lines gone, she can pretty much get away with this, but when she makes that awkward long step or stride to her, I guess your screen right, her left, she comes a little bit close to being out of that batter's box. Oh, she is way out of the batter's box there. And you just saw it there. She is almost a solid foot outside of that line. Of course, with the line being gone, it's tough to get that call, and we'll see if that is brought up here in a moment. That pitch missing outside. 2-2 now is the count. Coach Kirk not saying anything to the home plate umpire, but some of the ICC faithful getting all in the ear of the home plate umpire. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Bases loaded here for the Indians. They lead at 3-2. We're in the top of the second. There's a grounder right back up the middle. They're going to get one at home. No, they're going to say she's safe. Said she came off the plate. Don't know about that one. Let's go back and look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay. Yes, she did. She came up off the plate, never put her foot back down. A tough break there for Southwest. So that will go as a fielder's choice in that situation. And that will score Hope Harbin, and ICC now takes a 4-2 lead. I had my score backwards. I had to correct that for you. ICC has put 4 runs on the board so far here. And so they're going to come now. The Southwest coaches are just now realizing that she was called safe at home. And that was a tough play. We looked at it on the Little Caesar instant replay, and we'll look at it again here. You'll see where she picked her foot up, and when she put it back down was not on the plate. So that's just a tough break, and the home plate umpire is right there on top of it. And so just one of those mental mistakes. They had the routine out, and it was close. And so that will go as a fielder's choice for Samantha Conley. And now the infield umpire is going to come up and talk to the coach here to try to break up the conversation. Well, here's the thing about it. The home plate umpire did not hesitate in making the call. He called it immediately. So Southwest coach is getting his money's worth here, and the umpires are giving him plenty of leeway, and you can't blame the umpires in this situation because it was a bang play. But even before the throw was home, or even the throw was being made, he waved safe because she had come off the plate. So a break there for the Indians as that pushes across the 4th run of the game. And the bases will stay loaded here for ICC, and this is going to be Summer Kreider coming to the plate. Well, one thing you do got to do if you're the head coach here for Southwest, you do got to remember, if you do get ejected, which he wasn't doing anything, let me preface this by going forward. He wasn't doing anything to get ejected. He was obviously coming out to augur the call, never got loud, never got physical, never said any choice language that I could hear. So he was getting his 2 cents worth as that pitch hops across for a ball. But, and we had to remind Rick of this at Gulf Coast the other day because he got after the umpires pretty well. You get ejected here, then you're going to miss some of the playoffs. So that's what you got to keep in mind in a game like this right now. So 4-2 is the score. Bases loaded here for ICC. There is 1 out in the inning, and this is Summer Kreider at the plate. Kreider's pitch up high for a ball. So 2-0 is the count. 1 out here to Summer Kreider at the plate. Kreider pops this one back and out of play. So 2-1 pitch coming. This one popped up. Center fielder is going to drift back. This should be deep enough to score Harbin. There is going to be a play at the plate. Harbin's going to come in and will score safely. And so that goes as a sacrifice fly off the bat of Summer Kreider. And the 5th run of the inning coming in there for the Indians. See the tag there and the throw home. It was a good throw home, but Hope with a lot of speed able to beat that one in as that brings in Maddie Miney to score the 5th run of the inning for the Indians. And now this is going to bring up Macy Cox, and the Indians have batted around here this inning. Macy swings at the first pitch she sees, fouls it back off the netting for strike 1. And they're going to call that an illegal pitch. Well, she's been doing it the entire game right now, as she's been making that long stride out to her left, and the coach is going to come out and argue this one now. It's pretty obvious, coach, and that she is well outside the box when she does deliver that pitch. That's one thing that we have been saying about it. She's been taking that long stride, and it's unfortunate because in the game of softball, you can't keep those lines permanently marked, or you'll have to have somebody. The game would stretch out to be 4 hours long because you'd have to have somebody come out and chalk it every time. And now the head coach has just got a warning in this situation. And again, you don't want to see this right now. You understand the coach is upset. You know, if they get a sweep, then yes, they're up 6, up to the 6th spot. But you do want to stay in here. And now he's just asking for the rubber to be wiped off. The infield umpire has come in and done that. So just one of those situations. Sometimes, you know, I just don't want to see him get tossed out with the playoffs coming up is what I'm saying in this situation. And hopefully the home plate umpire will keep that in mind as well. Because there's a grounder that's going to get through, and that's could score a run. They're going to ask Sternisha to score. She's going to go in, and the throw is not in time. Rachel Sternisha will score the run. And the Indians have scored 6 here. That will go for a single for Macy Cox. She did advance on the throw. She will get the RBI, and that will close the book on Kaylin Schumann. Well, the tag was high, and Sternisha got underneath at that time as the Indians now take a 6-2 lead. This has been a big inning here for the Indians, and they've pushed across 6 so far. And now this is going to be Casey Carpenter. Carpenter was the first out of the inning when she grounded back to the pitcher, actually lined off the pitcher, and it turned into a 1-5-3 putout as that pitch in there for a strike. So 0-1 is the count here to Carpenter. Second time she's come to the plate this inning as she's trying to find a 2-out hit here. You've got Cox at second. Conley is over at third. There's a hard hit up the middle, and this could score 2. They are going to ask Macy to score from second. The throw will not be in time. And another clutch hit there for the Indians as 2 runs comes across. And Carpenter was able to advance to second on the throw to move into scoring position. She does get 2 RBIs on the play as Conley and Cox comes around to score. And now this is going to be Jessica Davis coming to the plate here for the Indians. There is 2 outs. The Indians have put 8 runs on the board here in the top of the second. Talk about a rally as the bats have come alive here. You've got Carpenter at second. Davis took a healthy chop at that one, came up empty for strike 1. Good pitch that time out of the hands of McNabb as the pitch was tailing away from the batter, had enough of a tail on it that Davis couldn't find it as it fell out of the zone. So 0-1 is the count. There is 2 outs and a runner on second here. We're in the top of the second, ICC and Southwest. Change up, waiting on it, and that one's going to drop for a hitter. They're going to ask Davis to, or excuse me, not Davis, but Carpenter to score from second, and she will without a throw. And now the Indians lead 9-2 as the hits just keep happening here for the Indians. That's the 3rd straight hit there. So that goes for an RBI, and Carpenter will score. Southwest elected to allow the run to score and then just keep the runner at first, and now this is going to bring up Joanna Vasquez. JoJo, she walked and scored a run in her last at bat that was in this inning. That pitch high, the throw down to second will get out to the outfield, so that will go as a stolen base for Davis to move into scoring position. Actually, the pitch was called for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Well, a pretty good throw that time on the part of Metterjean. Just a very speedy Davis was able to beat the throw. Good job by the center fielder to back that one up and now allow her to scamper over to third. So with 2 outs now, 0-1 is the count here to Joanna Vasquez. JoJo trying to keep this inning alive here. ICC has rallied for 9 runs as that pitch goes high for a ball. One ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs here. Jessica Davis, the birthday girls, over at second base. Change up, popped up. Right fielder's going to drift over. Camp underneath it for the out. Yes, she will. And that will do it. But a big inning there for the Indians as they score 9 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. No errors and 1 left on base. ICC leads it 9-2 as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Were to be the 7, 8, 9 batters due up for Southwest. Metterjean, McManus, and Spears. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Welcome back. It was a big inning for the Indians. They scored 9 runs off of 5 hits. There were 3 batters that were hit by pitches. There was also a walk in the mix there as well. The play at home where the the catcher came off the plate, and she lifted her foot up and drug it off the plate, never put it back down on the plate. You can't really rule that as an error. You just call that a fielder's choice in that situation when there wasn't a play made. So either way it goes, this is going to be the catcher, Metterjean, coming to the plate here for Southwest. They put 2 runs on the board in the bottom half of the inning. See if they can find a way to scratch across a few runs here in the bottom of the second as that first pitch from Burns missing low for a ball. Well, Olivia, she got some run support. She got 9 runs in the top half of the inning for ICC to take a 9-2 lead. Metterjean at the plate for the first time today. That pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs. Metterjean, McManus, and Spears all due up here for the Bears. We want to thank everyone for tuning in here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the red channel. As there's going to be a ground ball, it's going to be a foul ball. 1-2 now is the count. Madison Haley is running Twitter. Make sure you give her a shout out on Twitter and hit us up and let us know if you're watching here, as we'll try to keep an eye on that as well and give a few shout outs to those. We usually have pretty good viewership throughout the entire season. Of course, next week will be the playoffs. It'll be at Jones. As this pitch popped up, foul territory, Kreider will go over and make the play for the out. Summer Kreider with a little routine pop-up, taking care of that time as that retires Metterjean, and this will bring up Riley McManus. We're talking about it being Jessica Davis's birthday. It's also ICC baseball assistant coach Dylan Ernest's birthday. So birthdays for everybody. As that pitch missing low and inside for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to McManus, who is playing over at third base. She had a very heads-up play in that second inning when the ball was lined right back off the pitcher. Schumann came over to her. She was able to scoop it up and throw out Carpenter over at first base as that pitch missing high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here to McManus. We do have some viewers, as we're going to give a quick shout out real quick, and I'm just going to read this. And Tammy, I'm not going to try to say your last name, I apologize, but she says, "Hi Gore, Aunt Tammy, Uncle Mike, cousin Shelby are watching from Iowa with Papa and Gigi from Missouri. And it's not snowing today, so good job not getting that 4 to 5 inches of snow like they had last time in Iowa." As that pitch right down the middle for a strike. 3-1 now is the count. Of course, that is the aunt of Ellie and not Ellie. Maddie and Ellie Miney. Appreciate them and everyone else, as always, tuning in here. That pitch missing inside for a ball, and that'll be a 1-out walk issued to McManus, and now this will bring up Spears. We might have a runner come in this situation, as that appears to be the situation here, so they want to get a little bit more speed on the bag for the third baseman. So this is going to be number 5 coming in to run.
Running at first base, number 5, Tyranisha Davis.
So Tyranisha Davis will come in to run here for Southwest with 1 out and a runner at first base. Jamie Spears will come to the plate.
Now batting, number 9, Jamie Spears.
So Burns will come back after issuing that walk. That was the second walk of the day from Burns. She'll try to attack Spears here. That pitch missing high and outside for a ball. Well, you got a pretty tight strike zone today. And that's for both teams. And that's all you really ask at the end of the day, is for a consistent strike zone either way. So right now, if you're a batter, well, as soon as I say that, then there's a pitch that looked up, called a strike. So 1-1 is the count here on Spears. But yeah, if you're a batter, you hit or miss on those high pitches, I guess, would be the best way to call the strike zone right now. Shows bunt, lays it down. It's a perfect bunt here, and she's going to go for a base hit. No, now she's going to try to go to third, and the throw is in time. And now they're going to try to go to second, and nope, they're going to head back to first, and the throw over to first is not in time. Well, that almost would have been a weird double play, but instead now that goes as a fielder's choice, as it will go 3-5 on the putout of McManus. That may actually be a single. It looks like the third baseman, Kreider, is shaken up on the play as it inadvertently ran into her as she went to make that turn. So let's go ahead and call that a single for Spears, because she was there safely. The play had concluded, and then 3-5, as it was a heads-up running play that time, as she saw that third base was not being covered that time, and then a smart play. But a smart play there, trying to advance to third, but a great hustle play on the part of Summer Kreider to be able to get over there and get the out. Pitch down the middle for a strike. So now there's 2 outs after that wild situation. The thing about it is it almost turned into a double play, though, as the runner thought she was going to try to take second with ICC not paying attention, and a good heads-up job of the dugout to get Kreider to tune in that she was trying to go to second, as that pitch missing for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. She was able to get back to first just in time before Carpenter was able to apply that tag, and if it would have been a 3-5 to 6-3 double play to end the inning. Pitch missing low and outside. 2-1 now is the count. I say all that may not even be right, but it was a wild conclusion to that one put out there that nearly turned into a Little Caesars double play. So 2-1 now is the count. As this one popped up, Kreider's going to give chase, and just can't make the play. A diving effort by Kreider over there in the warning track area. Just out of your view. If she could have made that play, I know Madison's got her GoPro down there in the dugout right now. Could have been a very unique What a Play Wednesday, but I tell you what, this has been a tough inning for Summer Kreider, shaken up after the runner from Southwest inadvertently ran into her on that tag out over at third on the previous play. And then just took a pretty nasty spill trying to get after the foul ball there. 2-2 is the count. This one popped back and off the netting, and we'll stay at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. There is a runner over at first base here for Southwest. Indians lead it 9-2 after a 9 spot put on the board in the top half of the inning. So the 2-2 pitch coming. Change up, waited on it, pops it up. Stranisha's going to be over there for the out, and that will end the inning. So a pop up to second ends the inning. So the Bears get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll take a break and come back at the top of the 3rd inning. ICC 9, Southwest 2. Let's hear from Renaissance Bank and more here on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 9-2 is your score as we shift now to the top of the third inning. For ICC to be Hope Harbin, Maddie Miney, and Rachel Stranisha due up here in the top of the third. Indians lead it 9-2. It was 9 runs on 5 hits in the second inning. Hope Harbin had a 2-run single in that. That scored Macy Cox and Jessica Davis to start the 9-run spin for the Indians, and ICC would love to see if they can do that again here. For Southwest, they want to try to see if they can get a quick 3-up, 3-down inning here, see if they can get the bats back to the plate. So Hope Harbin now at the plate. As Jordan McNabb in the circle. She is not in line for the decision as there's going to be a bunt laid down by Harbin, and it's going to be a throw over, and it's going to be not in time. Well, Hope is quicker than Walt Flanagan's dog and showed it off there as she was able to lay down that bunt nicely and leg that one out as got it by a step that time. So that's going to be the second hit of the day for Hope Harbin. And so a lead-off single there. And now this is going to be Maddie Miney as we go back to the top of the lineup. Miney has struck out. She's also been hit by a pitch. Takes a look at that first pitch across for a strike. Well, Maddie, she is realistically still in the chase for the regular season single steals record. That being held by, I believe, Kimmy Nicholson, who is now an assistant coach at East Mississippi. She had 54 successful steal attempts. There's a bunt laid down. Throw over to first is going to be not in time. Actually, it's going to be in time, but she dropped it. And then Hope Harbin ends up over at third. So that will be an E4 on the play as the second baseman was covering the bag. And the throw was there in plenty of time. She just popped out of her glove and dropped it. So now the Indians will have runners on the corners here with no outs. And this will be Rachel Stranisha coming to the plate.
Number 20, Rachel Stranisha.
So now this is going to be Rachel Stranisha. She was hit by a pitch and bases were loaded when it happened, so a run came across the score, part of that 9-run second inning. So now ICC with runners on the corners here for Stranisha. That pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count here to Rachel. So Matha Conley is on deck. She reached on that fielder's choice in the previous at-bat that allowed a run to score. That pitch across for a strike, that will go for a steal for Maddie Miney. As that steal total continues to climb, I believe 44 steals on the season so far. Home plate umpire's going to come up and dust off the plate. So 0-2 now is the count here to Rachel Stranisha. Runners on second and third after that stolen base for Maddie Miney. So 0-2 is the count here to Stranisha. This pitch fouled back, and we'll stay at 0-2. Rach is 0 for 1 of the day. She was hit by a pitch, as we mentioned before, when bases were loaded to push a run across. 9-2 after 9 runs scored in the top of the second here for ICC. They're trying to add to that total here. Runners at second and third. Miney at second, Harbin at third. Off-speed pitch falls off the table a bit too soon, and 1-2 now is the count. Not necessarily a bad pitch to miss on. Good job blocking that one up by the catcher, just to see if you couldn't get a very aggressive Rachel Stranisha to chase a pitch that time, but a good eye on the part of Rach to hold off on it. 1-2 now goes the count. There is no outs here in the top of the third. So waiting the pitch here from the Bears. It goes high. It evens the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Remind you that we will have game 2 coming your way here after the conclusion of this one. Still got a little way to go. The First American National Bank opening pitch came your way at 2:05. It's now 3:09. And that pitch missing high. 3-2 is the count. And once again, you're starting to see that pitch, the pitcher's foot itching further and further outside of that imaginary lines that are drawn there. And starting to hear some of the ICC faithful chirping about it. But it's going to have to be pretty significantly outside, I feel like, for the home plate umpire to call it. And that was the case there as that pitch goes high, and it will now load the bases with no outs and Samantha Conley coming to the dish. So that might be a note for the Indians if they do end up facing Southwest in the opening round of the playoffs again, is to kind of bring that to the attention of the umpire early in the contest. As once they did that, then McNabb, who has done well, kind of struggled, and ICC was able to get a few hits off of her. It's going to be a pop-up. Shortstop will have no issue with it, and that will go for out number 1. Good pitch on the part of McNabb, an outside corner pitch that Conley couldn't hang off of. Got just enough of it to pop it up, and the shortstop, who was playing in a little bit, ran back and squeezed it for out number 1, and now this is going to bring up Summer Kreider. Kreider had a sacrifice fly out to center field. She does lead the Indians in home runs, so you do got to be careful with Kreider in this situation. 1 out, bases full of the Indians, and a time is taken here by the catcher for Southwest. Looks like they're giving some directions to the outfield here for the Bears. That pitch, missing outside. Good-looking pitch. It just did not find enough of the plate as that one goes for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to Kreider. She is 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout to end the first. She had that ICC BSU sacrifice fly to center to score a run, part of that 9-run second inning, and time is taken again by the catcher. 1-0 is the count here to Kreider. Beautiful pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 now goes the count here to the freshman out of Moorville High School. Of course, when you talk about softball in the state of Mississippi, you got to talk about Moorville High School, a very proud tradition just down the road from ICC. 1-1 now is the count with 1 out. Bases full of Indians. Harbin at third, Miney at second, and Stranisha over at first. There's a changeup that fell off the table just a bit too soon for the umpire's liking. 2-1 now goes the count here to Kreider. Boy, for Southwest, boy, you would love to find a way to turn a Little Caesars double play here to get out of this inning with no damage done. There's 1 out here for the Indians. This pitch flared to center field, back, and it's going to be in the glove of the catcher. And this will score another run. Now they're going to ask Maddie Miney to score from second, and she does. And now they throw it to second. And wow, a gamble there by the Indians, and it paid off. Let's go back and look. They might be trying to see if Miney left second early. And she did not. She was there. And so that's going to go for, wow, how often do you get to say that? A 2-run sacrifice fly to center field. And that was just heads-up base running there as Coach Kirk rolled the dice and pushed across 2 more runs on that one. Holy cow. That could be a early Wanna Play Wednesday nominee for this upcoming week. A 2-run sacrifice fly. They say when you come to the ballpark, you're going to see something new every time, and that's going to be the first time I've ever seen that in that situation there. Stranisha did go to second on the sacrifice fly as well. Cox rips one, hammers out to the left side. Left fielder's going to go back and make the play to end the inning. Good job out there in left field, as that's the first time today that Macy has been retired, but the Indians do get 2 more runs on the board to take an 11-2 lead. We'll take a break and be back with the bottom half of the third. We're going to be the 2-3-4 batters due up for Southwest. Nation, Newman, and Jeffcoat. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 11-2 is the score here. And now the home plate umpire going down to talk to one of the Southwest coaches in this situation, and not 100% sure what they could be talking about here. They do have Ganell down there. Maybe Michael's behaving himself. I don't know. You got to be careful with Ganell sometimes, as he's the SID down here at Southwest. Tell you what, the MACJC is blessed with a lot of good SIDs to be able to work with, and I'm not saying that because I'm one of them. I'm just saying we got a really good working relationship with all the SIDs throughout the state as well, and we do appreciate everything that Ganell does for the crews down here at Southwest, and all the guys that help out here at Southwest as well. And so once again, an animated conversation going on over there next to first base. And again, not really sure. And I was talking to the PA announcer between the inning, and we did go back and look, and Miney did tag up, and the PA announcer made a very good point. The fact that the catch carried her into the fence, and so it carried her momentum away from immediately being able to turn around and throw home, and that's what opened the door for Miney to be able to score. The throw was there. She never really had tried to apply a tag either, so there was no play made at the plate either. So a 2-run sacrifice fly being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union. Follow them on Twitter at ICCBSU. They meet Monday nights at 7:07, Wednesdays at lunch, and they, of course, not meeting anymore because the school year is over. Finals wrapped up on Friday. As the conversation still continues here, I'm trying to fill up as much airtime as I can here. But they are still pontificating amongst themselves down there next to first base, and now they break it up. So 11-2 is the score. ICC with the lead.
And after the Bears, number 00, Jersey Nations.
Let's go, birthday girl.
And so this will be Nations at the plate. I heard somebody say, let's go birthday girl, so it may be Josie Nations' birthday as well. If it is, happy birthday to her. She had a single and scored a run in her previous at-bat. Sun is out here in Summit as this pitch missing low for a ball. It's been an absolute beautiful day for softball so far, and considering the weather that we had yesterday and previous days, and of course the first time we tried to play this game, it's a nice breath of fresh air. So 1-0 is the count. Swung on a miss on a rise ball did Nations, even the count now at 1-1. Well, I see that Madison getting a little fancy down with the Twitter, says she is posting some videos as well. So follow us at Let's Go ICC on Twitter. Fly ball to the right side of the field. Jessica Davis will go back and record it for the out. Well, there's a little birthday on birthday action as the birthday girl Nations flies out to the birthday girl Jessica Davis in right field.
Number 29, Madison Newman.
So now Madison Newman will be coming to the plate. pitch across for a strike to Newman. Newman grounded out to the shortstop. It was a tough play, but a nice play made by Maddie Miney to record her for the out. That was the first out of that first inning where Southwest scored a pair of runs. This pitch popped up. Burns will call everybody off and will squeeze it for the out. Nice pitch on the hands of Newman that time to get the second out of the inning. And so now with 2 away, this is going to bring up Carrington Jeffcoat.
28, Carrington Jeffcoat.
Carrington had an RBI single in her first at bat, so she'll come to the plate here to see if she can find her second hit of the game to spark a 2-out rally here for the Bears. And she sends one out to center field. Hope Hartman will go out there and squeeze it for the out. So a very quick 3-up, 3-down inning there in the bottom of the third. We'll take a break and come back with the top of the fourth inning. We're to be Casey Carpenter, Jessica Davis, and Joanna Vasquez due up for the Indians. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the top of the fourth inning. ICC with an 11-2 lead. ICC got 9 runs in the second, 2 in the third. It was a 2-run bottom of the first for Southwest, and that's where we stand right now. Casey Carpenter at the plate. She singled, advanced to second on the throw home to score 2 runs. She also eventually came around to score part of that 9-run second inning. Carpenter, she's out of Grenada. And of course, me being from Calhoun County, anytime somebody says they're from Grenada, much like Olivia, she claims Grenada. She's from Coffeyville, and that's where I've got family, so I got to put some respect on my lineage, if you will, from Coffeyville. Of course, if you're not familiar with North Mississippi, you're not going to know where Coffeyville is. It's a very small area in Yellowbusha County. Grenada is pretty much where everybody claims it. Kind of like people from South Haven in that area claiming Memphis. That first pitch across for a strike. 0-1 is the count here to Carpenter. Second pitch is going to be a liner, and the second baseman finds it for the out. Nice play by the second baseman to retire Carpenter, as that was Nations coming up and making the play. So with 1 out now, this is going to bring up Jessica Davis. She had an RBI single, stole a base, but was left stranded back in the second. She was hit by a pitch also in the second and scored a run. So yeah, Carpenter, she has said she's from more the Carrollton side of Grenada. So Davis will stand in, swings on the first pitch he sees, fouls it for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count here to Davis. Joanna Vasquez is on deck for the Indians. There is 1 out and nobody on. Changeup hangs up for a ball. Again, got to be careful if you're a Southwest pitcher right now. She, again, is extending that stride well to her left side, but the umpire, he's caught it once, but has let it go since. But that stride, she takes an inch, and each time she'll get another inch on that one. So waiting the pitch here, and that one is going to be popped up. This is going to stay in play. A chance for the first baseman to come over. She will make the play, and a great play over there at first, as she almost bumped into our assistant coach, Haley Thompson, who was trying to get out of the way and did so. And so that's going to be a pop-up and a out recorded by Jeffcoat. And now with 2 outs, this is going to bring up Joanna Vasquez. JoJo will dig in here and try to spark a 2-out rally here for the Indians. They got a 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the third. Southwest trying to return serve here in the top of the fourth. Beautiful pitch across for a strike to start off Vasquez. Oh, 0-1 is the count with 2 outs. That pitch hangs up high for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. One ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. This is Jordan McNabb in the circle. She entered in relief of Kaylin Schumann, who is on the hook right now for the decision in the contest. Grounder right back to the pitcher. Nice play by McNabb to grab it. Tosses over to first for the putout. And the Indians go quietly in the top of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We'll head to the bottom half of the inning, where to be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up. Gower, Nelson, and Metterjean here for the Bears. 11-2, ICC with the lead. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say. It's lonely at the top. Unless you have an extra most bestest pizza. Then it's a party at the top!
Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6.
Pizza. My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocados, dude.
Medium rare.
Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that.
Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs, and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion, or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton, or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome back as we once again have a conversation here with the umpires and the Southwest coach in between the innings. Don't know if we might have some changes coming up as well. Hey, real quick, Aunt Tammy, Uncle Mike, Cousin Shelby, and the rest of the crew out there in Missouri. I went down to the bullpen and got a voice message. Hoik is how you say their last name. Hoik. It's spelled H-E-U-C-K, so shout out to the Hoiks. And that's how Larry and Carrie said it, so that's the reason why I'm saying it that way. Hoiks, for tuning in here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. I hope that's right anyway. Maybe they may have been playing a trick on me. Either way it goes, Gower, who had a sacrifice fly to score and run, will start the contest here. Can't catch up with the fastball, swung on and missed for strike one. Well, again, Madison Haley running Twitter for us. Appreciate Madison and all she does. Lee Adams, Raphael Henry, also Javon Keys and Josie Hill as that pitch hangs up high. Josie was a volunteer that helped us out this year. She was a cheerleader at ICC. She was able to do some videos for us and give a little insight of some of the cheerleading going on. Javon Keys was our work study, and Madison Haley is part of the softball team as this pitch has popped up. Second baseman Rachel Stradacia will come in and squeeze it for out number one. But Madison has been able to help us with softball this year. She's also was our volunteer intern and was able to come in and become our full-time intern after Christmas. So we do appreciate Madison and all they do there. Madison, Josie, and Javon helping us out all season. Of course, Javon and Josie, they're leaving us, so we'll got some big shoes to fill next year for those two. So with one out now, this is going to be Nelson coming to the plate. Stands in and takes that first pitch high for a ball. So 1-0 is the count here to Nelson. She struck out looking in her first at bat today. That pitch inside for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. Well, if you're wanting to work on your tan, this is a place to do it. The sun is coming out. There are a few clouds kind of peppering the sky here in Summit, but not really giving much relief to the fans as that pitch in there for a strike. 2-1 now is the count. Got to think the temperatures might be creeping into the 80s, if not mid-80s. Yep, 78 right now, but expect that to continue to climb as we go throughout the day as that pitch missing low for a ball. 3-1 now is the count here to Nelson. Burns going to have to find a way to battle back here. 3-1 is the count. There is one out and nobody on after a pop up to second by Gower to start the inning. Nelson takes a look at that pitch, and it's across for a strike. Nelson shook her head in agreement, and now the count goes full at 3-2. Now, we'll be back here not next year, but I guess September, October, as we'll make the trip back down to Southwest for football. Making the return trip after Southwest came our way last year. Ground ball, third baseman has it. Should have plenty of time. Does throw over in time for the putout. 5-3 for those of you that are scoring at home for the second out of the inning. And now this should be Scotty Metterjean coming to the plate.
The catcher, Scotty Metterjean.
That will be the situation there as Metterjean, the catcher, she popped up in foul territory to Summer Kreider in her first and only at bat so far in the contest. So 2 outs now, and that pitch nearly hit Metterjean as it goes inside for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to the catcher. Well, I say this, and I say this often, you just got to give a tip of the cap to the catchers, especially in softball, because a lot of times you got them catching both games, but on a hot day like today, doesn't make it fun being a catcher. That pitch looked up and inside, but called a strike. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs here as Metterjean trying to spark a 2-out rally for the Bears in the bottom of the 4th inning. If she were to find her way on, that'd be McManus, or actually, excuse me, no, it would be number 5. No, looks like McManus is going to come back into the contest as number 5 was out in left field here that previous inning as that pitch missing for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. Liner and is pulled foul. A blistering shot that time off the bat of Metterjean. And if that one finds a way to stay fair, then that's going for extra bases. But just foul as she couldn't just time that one up that time. Well, as soon as I say the sun not disappearing behind some clouds, guess what? There's some clouds coming in and blocking the sun out for us. And at the moment, I'll take it because every time I look down at my score sheet, I look up and I see nothing but yellow in front of me. Change up, waited on it. Now diving catch. No, she didn't catch it. The throw over, though, is in time. That could be our What a Play Wednesday right there. It almost started with a great play on a diving effort. Couldn't find it, throwing from her knees, shows off that cannon that people mistake for a right arm on her shoulder, and a big-time play there for the putout for another 3-up, 3-down inning. We've played 4 here in Summit. ICC leads at 11-2. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to have an extended inning here as they're letting Metterjean get her equipment on as she was the final out of the inning there. Let's take a look at a Sonic scoring recap. And for Southwest, it was 2 runs in the bottom of the first. It was an RBI single off the bat of Jeff Coate that scored Bussey, and then a sac fly out to center field by Gower that scored Nations. And ICC had a big inning. They scored 9 in the top of the second inning. It was a 2-run single by Hope Harbin that scored Cox and Davis. And then it was Rachel Stranisha that was hit by a pitch to score Joanna Vasquez. A fielder's choice for Samantha Conley as the catcher's foot came up and off the plate that allowed Harbin to score. And then it was an RBI sacrifice fly by Kreider, an RBI single by Macy Cox, a 2-run single by Casey Carpenter, and an RBI single by Jessica Davis to round out the scoring there in the second. Southwest went quietly in the bottom of the second. ICC got 2 runs on a sacrifice fly by Summer Kreider. That's unheard of, as Hope Harbin was at third. Maddie Miney, who reached on an error and stole second, as there's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Should be a routine play here, and it is, as that one's 6-3 to retire Hope for the first time today. So Miney was at second. The sac fly took her into the fence and carried her away from the play. Both players tagged up. We went back and looked at on the Little Caesars instant replay. And so that was a 2-run sacrifice fly. Coach Andy Kirk rolled the dice to see if he could get the run home from second, and he did. And so that is your Sonic scoring update so far in the contest. Now this is going to be Maddie Miney at the plate, as that pitch goes high for a ball. She's got a lot of family watching all over the world right now. Iowa and Missouri checking in here on the Let's Go ICC TV network. Of course, her twin sister, Ellie Miney. As I jokingly say, my favorite of the 2 twins. Of course, they're friends with Madison Haley, and this pitch missing for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. And so it's a good thing about our job a lot of times. We get to develop some of those good relationships, friendships, and so I call Ellie the perfect twin, and depending on the day, if Mads is being a pain, I'll call Maddie the mediocre twin and Madison the evil twin, as that pitch missing low. And of course, for those that may have heard me earlier refer to her as not Ellie, that story's pretty simple. First time I met Maddie, I playfully called her Ellie. I knew who she was, but she just kindly looked at me and said, no, I'm not Ellie, and that stuck for a little while. So 3-0 is the count now here to Maddie Miney. And that one called a strike. Wow. That one high and inside. And Miney kind of laughing that one off. So you just got to shake that one off if you're Maddie in this situation and come back to the plate ready to battle here with a 3-1 count. Shows bunt, lays it down. Going to be a tough play, barehanded over at first. It is not in time, but they called her out. Let's look at that one on the instant replay here, and I'll kind of watch it here. That's a great barehand play by the pitcher. Yeah, she was there by a step and a half. So a tough break there for Maddie Miney. 1 on the previous strike call, and then 2 on the out call there. So a break for the Bears on back-to-back questionable calls that results in an out of Maddie Miney. Officially score that one 1-3. The infield umpire with the assist. As that pitch missing high for a ball, 1-0 now is the count here to Rachel Stranisha. Rachel 0 for 1 of the day. She's been hit by a pitch that scored a run and has also walked. She was left stranded back in the third in scoring position. And so Jordan McNabb in the circle here. Tosses that one across. A good pitch for a strike. Catches the outside corner of the plate. Good location, as that evens the count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Nobody on here for the Indians. We're in the top of the 5th. ICC going to try to get a run rule victory here if they can keep them from scoring at least 2 runs in the next inning. Change up, waited on it, but sends it flare down the line. Foul. 1-2 now is the count. Well, ICC will be back in action on Wednesday. Could very well be playing this Southwest team. Southwest has got to sweep ICC today to move up to that number 6 spot. A split, or if they get swept, would put them at the number 7 spot, and that would put them facing this same ICC squad on Wednesday, time to be determined. That pitch, not a bad spot to miss that time to see if you can get Stranisha to chase one. Good eye on the part of Rachel to hold off. 2-2 now is the count. Figure Kyle's watching her boyfriend, and Kyle would have swung at that pitch all day, every day. So 2-2 now is the count with 2 outs. And there's going to be a ground ball. Shortstop cleans it and sends it over in time for the out, 6-3. So a 3-up, 3-down inning there after a questionable call on the second out of the inning. Will end the top of the 5th. ICC now 3 outs away from calling this one early as they lead at 11-2. We'll take a break and hear a word from all of our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
And welcome back now as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher in the game here for ICC. Savannah Stamps will come in relief of Olivia Burns. 11-2 is your score. ICC with the lead. So we're heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. Scheduled up is going to be McManus, Spears, and then back to the top of the lineup in Bussey for the Bears. So McManus she walked. Her runner came in and was actually caught out trying to advance from second to third. It was a smart play. It was just a good defensive play by ICC that erased it. And there's really nobody covering third base. Summer Kreider hustled back in a hurry, got there and tagged the runner out. And there was a mild collision, nothing malicious in the collision or just one of those parts of the game that Summer was mildly shaken up on, but she was able to battle through it. Kyle Krieger sending me a message, said, yep, you're right, I'm watching. So he knows he would have chased that pitch out of the zone. So Rachel showing Kyle how it's done. 1-1 now is the count. No outs as McManus is leading us off here, and that pitch missing for a ball. 2-1 now goes the count. Speaking of the ICC baseball team, Kyle and the rest of the guys, they won the 2019 MACJC Championship, the first state championship for the Indians since 2009. So they'll have a while off. They'll host the region tournament. That'll be on May 15th. As this pitch popped up left side, Joanna Vasquez will come over and make the play for out number 1. So we do want to say good luck to the Indians as they'll have a long time off before they'll see the field again. And we do want to say not only good luck, but congratulations on winning that state championship. They swept Delta to earn that. And, of course, they just finished off the regular season with a hard-fought sweep of Gulf Coast with a 10-9 win in Game 1, 4-1 victory in the second game of the day as this pitch across for a strike as this is Spears batting in that 9 spot. We went back and gave her a single. I thought it was a fielder's choice at first, but the play continued well after she went through the bag, so I'm going to go back and call that a hit on the part of Spears in her first at bat as that pitch hops across cricket style for a ball. One and one now is the count. That ball hops across as well. 2-1 now goes the count here to Spears. There's one out after McManus flew out to left field. She was recorded out by Joanna Vasquez. ICC just 2 outs away from trying to wrap this one up early here in game 1. And that time swung on a pitch that was actually in and may have actually hit her that time, but Spears fouls it off and makes the count now go 2-2. Stamps coming in to pitch in replace of Olivia Burns, who is in line for the win. And if she does get the win today, she'll tie the single season record with Bailey Springfield at 20 wins on a season. And they're swinging strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for the second out of the inning. And now we go back to the top of the lineup in Bussy. Buzzy, is how we'll say that. So replace the S's with the Z's. Buzzy will try to spark a 2-out rally here. As that pitch in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Remind you to stay tuned. We'll have the Renaissance Bank postgame report coming your way. We'll tell you about our Little Caesars stats, as well as take a look at some of the highlights from game 1 and name our Sonic star of the game. As that pitch missing outside for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. So Stamps getting set to deliver the 2-0 pitch. And that one missing high. 3-0 now goes the count here to Buzzy. Buzzy playing out in left field. Got a 3-0 count here, trying to extend the inning. And see if she can spark the bats here for the Bears. They trail at 11-2, and we're in the bottom of the 5th. That pitch taking the whole way that time was Buzzy. She shakes her head in agreement with the strike call. 3-1 now is the count on Buzzy. If she were to reach, and to be Nations due up next for the Bears. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Infield is in this situation. That pitch missing low for a ball, and that will send the runner to first. So Buzzy on base. Doesn't really matter, and I hate to say doesn't matter, but if that run does score, it still keeps it an 8-run contest. It's the batter at the plate right now you got to worry about it. She represents that run that would push the game into the 6th inning. And so Nation is going to try to spark a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 5th. ICC looking for the X to see if they can pick up the win here in game 1. Change-up hangs up for a ball. Good eye on the part of Nation. Nation is 1 for 2. She singled and scored a run back in the 1st inning. She flew out to right in a 3-up, 3-down 3rd inning. 1-0 is the count. Ground ball, shortstop's going to have a tough play, backhands it, throws it over, and not in time. Man, if that would have been a out recorded there, that for sure would have been your What a Play Wednesday, as Nation has great speed, able to run that one out. A good backhand grab, and simple fact that she threw it over accurately was impressive on the part of Maddie Miney. So a 2-out single now, and this is going to bring up Newman to the plate. Or excuse me, this is actually going to be McNabb coming to the plate. So McNabb with an opportunity to extend this contest here, or at least keep the inning going. There's 2 outs, runners on 1st and 2nd. That pitch hops across for a ball. 1-0 now is the count to McNabb. (1-0), 2 outs, runners at 1st and 2nd. It's the run at 1st that the Indians want to keep off, or excuse me, keep on the bases. And they're going to hit her, and that's going to load the bases now. So McNabb will be hit by a pitch. And so this is going to bring up Jeff Coate. Jeff Coate had an RBI single back in the 1st, flew out to center to end the 3rd. And time is taken here. Looks like we may have a change for the Indians. Also a runner coming in for Southwest. Looks like 21 maybe, or maybe this is a on deck. Yes, on deck batter, so we'll not have a runner coming in here. And we will have a pitching change coming up for ICC, as this will be Butler coming in to pitch. So with the pitching change, let's hear from Sonic. We'll take a break and be back with more. ICC leads at 11-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back now as Butler taking her warm-up tosses. This will be Jeff Coat that will welcome her to the contest with 2 outs and ICC leading it 11-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. That pitch is going to get away and the run's going to score from third. So a nice job that time by Southwest to get Buzzy to score on the wild pitch to make it an 11-3 contest now, and just need one more run, do the Bears, to extend this one. So right now, if you're ICC, you don't worry about the runner at third. You just worry about the batter at the plate. But if you're Southwest, though, you want to get this run across and see if you can't spark a late rally. Fly ball to the right side. Jessica Davis is going to come charging in and will squeeze it for the outs. Well, a good job that time by Butler to get the pop-up to right side of the field, and that will do it here for Game 1 as the Indians win it by the final score of 11-3. Let's take a break and come back with the Renaissance Bank postgame report as we'll hear from some of our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say, it's lonely at the top, unless you have an extra most bestest pizza. Then it's a party at the top!
Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6.
Pizza. Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes, half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as your final score here from Summit in Game 1. ICC picks up a 11-3 win in the first game of the day. Your final line for ICC, 11 runs on 6 hits, no errors. And for Southwest, it was 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 error as well. ICC improves to 33-11-1 overall, 23-4 inside conference play. Southwest falls to 28-14, 15-12 in conference play. And we're going to welcome to the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth Ms. Madison Haley to give her recap on today's game.
Yeah, absolutely. The Indians, they came out, it took them a minute just to get everything going and get situated. But once they got there, the Bears, their pitchers struggled just a little bit, and they did everything they could to capitalize on that. They had that big 9-run inning, and like I said, they just went out there, they capitalized on every either mistake or hit by pitch or anything that the Bears were throwing at them, and they came out and they got their job done, and hopefully they'll come out with the same intensity and the same energy for Game 2 and get the sweep to head into the playoffs this coming up week.
And we appreciate Madison. As we said, you can follow her on Twitter as well. We're looking back at some of the Little Caesars instant replays from the games, and it was that 9-run inning in the second that proved to be large for ICC. Let's go ahead and name our Sonic star of the game, and that's going to be Olivia Burns. She tied the regular season record for most wins in a single season with her 20th win of the season, so she'll be our Sonic star of the game. Your Little Caesars stats, Maddie Miney was 0 for 3 on the day. She did reach on an error, stole a base, and scored a run. She struck out as well. She was hit by a pitch and scored a run, so she had 2 runs there. Rachel Stranacia on the afternoon was 0 for 2. She was hit by a pitch, scored a run, actually drove in a run when she was hit by a pitch. She walked and was left stranded. Samantha Conley was 0 for 2 on the day. She did reach on that weird fielder's choice that allowed a run to score. She scored a run as well. She also walked and was left stranded. For Summer Kreider, she was 0 for 1 with a pair of ICC BSU sacrifice flies. One of those sacrifice flies was a 2-run sacrifice fly. Heads-up base running on the part of Maddie Miney to score that run. Macy Cox was 2 for 3 on the day. She had a pair of singles, 2 runs scored, and she advanced on a throw and also drove in a run as well. Casey Carpenter on the afternoon was 1 for 3. She did have a 2-run single back in the second. She also scored a run. Jessica Davis was 1 for 2 on the day. She had an RBI single, a stolen base. She was hit by a pitch and scored a run. Joanna Vasquez, JoJo, was 0 for 2 on the day with a walk and a run scored. And Hope Harbin was 2 for 3 with a pair of RBIs and 2 runs scored as well. For Southwest, Buzzy, she was 0 for 1 on the day with a pair of walks and a run scored. Nation was 2 for 3 with a run scored and a pair of singles. Newman, she was 0 for 2 on the day. McNabb was hit by a pitch. Jeffcoat was 1 for 3 with an RBI and a single. Gower was 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly and an RBI. Nelson was 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Metterjean was 0 for 2. And then McManus, she was 0 for 1 with the walk. Her runner was thrown out trying to advance on the plate. Spears, she was 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a walk. The pitcher of record for Southwest was Schumann at the end of the day. So we're going to have about 20 minutes before we come back with the second game today as the sprinklers are turned on, and there was a girl raking the infield and she got hit by the sprinkler. So on a day like today, that might not necessarily be a bad thing. So we're going to take a break and come back in about 20 minutes with Game 2 right here on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.